None of us like being told lies, but we are constantly bombarded with false stories. If we are not careful, they could harm us. Today we are going, therefore, to develop the theme, Protect Yourself from Lies. We will answer 3 questions. What lies must we protect ourselves from? Why are those lies dangerous? And how can we protect ourselves from lies? Let us start with the first question. What lies must we protect ourselves from? The lies we want to talk about today are often called false news, fake news, misinformation, or false information. Today we are experiencing an avalanche of misinformation.
Good morning, everybody.
Howdy. You feeling okay today?
Why?
Well, you left some coffee, so I'm just wondering if you're feeling okay.
I was trying to be nice.
You and I fight over the last cup of coffee.
I was trying to be nice.
Hey, here we are.
Because you get cranky if you don't have enough coffee.
And here we are, the 2 apostates at Watchtower would just wish would go away.
It's been a while since we did a video together.
Well, like you mentioned, we've been busy. We're doing other things. I'm trying to build another channel. There's a lot of things going on that have my interest just as much as going after Watchtower because it's just this simple.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Jane Doe will tell you in my recent conversations, it's like, I really want to go back and take the blue pill again.
It's a burden.
It's a burden.
But some of us just choose to stick with the red pill and speak out against it.
Yes.
Nonsense.
In fact, friends, if you've been with this channel any length of time, you will hear me have said more than once that fear is the control mechanism. And that fear comes right out of the Bible. I don't know if you friends are familiar with the channel Awaken with JP. We can probably put a link down below to his video that he recently did. This young person, he's younger than me, he's very well awake, but he just did a video talking about how we've all come to worship fear.
Well, he's actually a professional comedian.
Yeah.
That's how we first came in contact with him, is as a comedian on YouTube. And then he just started growing, and he does shows and everything.
And this person is very much awake. And what I enjoyed about that particular video is that he did the same thing with fear like I did with Watchtower, taking a certain scripture and changing a key word or two and put Watchtower and Babel Crap Society right there so that everybody can identify. Well, he did the same thing with the word fear. He took certain key scriptures right out of the Bible and replaced it with the word fear. And it goes a long way to get people to think twice about what a control mechanism certain religious literature really is.
Yes. Now, I want to thank Ugly Watchtower. Thank you, sweetie, so much, for everything and for sending this link, because I just haven't had time to go to jw.org lately. I did grab the May broadcast, but I just haven't even had time to do anything. There's so much going on in our personal lives. So thank you very much, sweetie. And I just want to mention that it's interesting, this is why this piqued my interest, is because back in January, an Australian activist actually accused me of being a conspiracy theorist because I happened to have mentioned that not only were we being censored, but that it was almost like a witch hunt against those that if you don't go along with the mainstream everything, that you're a conspiracy theorist. So that's why it piqued my interest now that Watchtower on jw.org has come up with an article.
Well, what? Talk about conspiracy theories. What did eBay just do to us? What did eBay? We were targeted, so now we have to do business a little bit different, and that's what we're trying to do because of some of these conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, we will no longer be selling anything on eBay, so if there's any books or anything you guys want, just contact us. Yeah, apparently they're scared by a little piece of wool felt that has nothing to do with making ammo for firearms.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I argued with them all last weekend, and my blood pressure was so high that, I freaked the doctor out.
Yeah. So our world is changing slowly but surely. And those of us that have the ability to adapt, you probably better start learning how to adapt.
Yeah. Now, the article on jw.org is Protect Yourself from Misinformation. And isn't that why all of us are doing videos on YouTube? We're trying to educate the world, wake people up. Not just Jehovah's Witnesses, not just Mormons, not just religion, but wake everybody up that this is what is going on. And what do? They turn around and bash us for being conspiracy theorists or apostates. Oh my goodness.
Or the big bad boogeyman because we sell a component, a wad. It's a component. This is the level of fear that's been reintrojected into our society today.
Yeah, exactly. So they start the article with misleading news. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the Secretary General of the United Nations warned of a dangerous epidemic of misinformation. And oh boy, haven't we seen that the past year. I'm not even going to get into all of that. You guys who are awake all know what I'm talking about.
It's a deep topic.
Yeah. Of course, misinformation is not new. However, the Bible foretold that in our day, wicked men and impostors would advance from bad to worse, misleading and being misled. I'm just going to say right here that what triggered me was they're doing this article, and as you can tell from the title, Watchtower has a very, very long history of misinformation or old light and flip-flopping of doctrines. And we're going to get into, like what woke us up and some of this misinformation they have put out there.
And basically all this article is just gaslighting everybody. That's all this article does, is gaslight. And it's really amazing to me how very few of us, when we're being gaslighted, actually recognize we're being gaslighted. And when you do recognize it, why won't you go shut the valve off? Why won't you go shut the switch and have these people stop gaslighting you?
Yeah. Well, like the first subheading here, do not believe everything you see or hear. But yet, as Jehovah's Witnesses, we are told, do not go on the internet. Do not Google Jehovah's Witnesses. Do not go watch apostate videos. Don't go to YouTube and search for Jehovah's Witnesses.
Well, you know why?
Because this stuff comes up.
Because YouTube is the game changer to everything. There is nothing that you can't learn that's not already on YouTube. You have a problem with your car? Google it. Put it in the YouTube search. You want to learn how to make black powder? Put it in the YouTube search. You want to learn how to debunk the Bible? Put it in the YouTube search.
Back to the article. We can easily be deceived if we are not careful. And this is what we have been saying for 8 years now. As Jehovah's Witnesses, we were being deceived. We were not told our, real history. We were not told that Watchtower joined the United Nations back in 1993. And I've been working and researching a video about an old article they did, and I was going to add it to this, but it's going to make it way too long. So I will do a separate video on that. But this question from readers is just so full of lies that I just get so triggered I can't even do the video calmly. It's like, oh my God, these are outright lies. And see, this is why we keep doing videos, to show Watchtower are the ones that are full of misinformation. Do not believe everything you see and hear. Of course they don't want Jehovah's Witnesses watching videos like this, because we prove from their history that they're the ones that are putting misinformation out. We can easily be deceived if we are not careful. Consider, for example, captioned images or brief videos that are widely spread online, especially through social media. Such items, commonly called memes, are often meant to be humorous. However, images and video clips can easily be altered or taken out of context. People can even create videos of real people doing or saying things they never did or said.
And this is where the house of cards that the Watchtower Bible Craft Society is built upon collapses. Okay? Because this is exactly what Watchtower did. And guess what? This isn't digital, Watchtower. This is the hard copy. I can read specifically what you did regarding the Christian cross. What you did was an ellipsis, dot, dot, dot. You left out part of the paragraph that allowed you to manufacture a lie. Sound familiar? I mean, if some of our news media is doing this today, leaving out pertinent information and manufacturing lies, but yet you left out important information and manufactured a lie. Sounds to me like you're in the same bed with these other people. The problem with this, Watchtower, is we can now get our hands on the original copies. I have the whole set of the Imperial Bible Dictionary. Thanks to Jane Doe and Mark and Cora Latham, I've got the whole set. So I can go to your resource regarding the cross in the Imperial Bible Dictionary, and I can fill in the dot, 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 and see that you are providing misinformation. But see, it's easy to do this with those that are swallowing the blue pill, because you have one of your governing body members get up there and go, hey, do you trust the faithful slave? Well, Jesus does. What a huge gaslight that is. So you have to trust them because they say Jesus trusts them, but yet they lied.
That's what woke us up.
This is what woke me up. Because years ago when I was a young man, I asked my mom, hey, what does the dot, dot, dot mean, Mom? And my mom projected the same lie. Well, what Watchtower left out doesn't have anything to do with the point they want to make. Yeah,
Boy, was she right about
damn
that.
right. Because then you can't see what these liars, these men that go from bad to worse, are doing to you.
Yeah, because in that paragraph, it has a period, and that's it, of the quote. But when you go to the actual Imperial Bible Dictionary and look at the whole thing, there is a comma there, and they go on, and they talk about that the cross was the more commonly used means of execution at that time. So Watchtower, and we've done so many videos about, their cherry picking, and they're claiming like ones like Daniel P. Mannix as a historian. He was a fiction writer. It's like, oh my goodness, and a carnival worker.
Yeah.
It's like, my goodness.
So it's really hypocritical for Watchtower to even dare put articles like this up on their website, because all we're going to do is just go after it like we know how to do, because it's just that easy.
Well, I think they are desperate because they are losing so many members right now. And all you have to do is just look at all of the new YouTubers, XJW YouTubers that are popping up everywhere. I mean, you can't even keep up. There are so many. So that tells me there's a tremendous amount waking up. And from all the emails and stuff we're getting and phone calls, they are in a, they're trying to control it and try to stop the flow, but they can't, because people, Jehovah's Witnesses, are saying, wait a minute, I will Google Jehovah's Witnesses, and oh boy, the floodgates open. Yeah. But I want to cover something else that is very deceptive on their part. You want to talk about misinformation. If you go to jw.org and click on About Us at the top, and then they have frequently asked questions. Oh my goodness. See, most Jehovah's Witnesses won't go to this section. This is the section that is meant for the world.
Right.
And it's very misleading. There's one here. Do Jehovah's Witnesses feel that they are the only people who will be saved? No. Oh my God, that right there is a lie. We all know it. Let me play a short clip real quick.
And that question is how? How do we get a firm hold on the real life? To attain the real life, you must be a baptized Christian servant of Jehovah.
And your young ones, we've been entreating you, you've got to get that clear. Especially as you get older, the only way you're getting through this storm, the great one, is your relationship with God. Your personal relationship, just like everybody else. Unless you're a toddler, and we know how Jehovah will sanctify them. But as you get older, you are responsible. Remember the nice demo? We've mentioned that before. Well, I'm not ready to get baptized. Okay, let's hold off on your driver's license. What? I'm 16. What are you talking about? I'm ready. I know I'm ready. Yeah, you're ready for a driver's license, but you're not ready to dedicate your life. Explain that one to heaven. That's why we repeated it on the program.
We all know that's how Jehovah's Witnesses really feel. They are the only ones that will be saved by Jehovah and the only ones to survive Armageddon.
Because see, what they actually do is they actually blend two theologies into one, and you don't recognize what they've done. Because when they say, do Jehovah's Witnesses feel they're the only ones who will be saved? No. And that's actually correct from the theological perspective that in the new system, wicked people will be raised and they'll have an opportunity to be saved. But if you're not attached to the organization before the impending Armageddon comes, then you will die if you're not a Jehovah.
Well, let me finish reading their paragraph here. No, many millions who lived in centuries past and who weren't Jehovah's Witnesses will have an opportunity for salvation. See, that's why you need to look at the wording carefully. The Bible explains that in God's promised new world, there's going to be a resurrection of both the righteous and the unrighteous. Additionally, many now living may yet begin to serve God, and they too will gain salvation. In any case, it's not our job to judge who will or won't be saved. That assignment rests squarely in Jesus' hands. See how it's very carefully worded, but we all know that if you do not come and be taught by Jehovah and be a faithful servant, baptized servant of Jehovah, you will die at Armageddon.
It's gaslighting at its finest.
Exactly.
It's almost like Watchtower was teaching the news media we have today on how to do this effectively, because it's, when you watch the news media today, you can see exactly the Watchtower technique that's being exposed right here.
Yeah. Their next subheading in this article, evaluate the source and the content. Well, that's what we have done.
Evaluate the source and the content. It's right here.
What the Bible says at 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Make sure of all things. But see, Jehovah's Witnesses won't do that. They won't go to these courts and look at these documents themselves on the CSA cases.
Right.
They won't do that. So they won't go and check out the source and the content. And, the article says, evaluate the reliability of the source. News media companies and other organizations may slant a story because of their commercial or political bias. Or in Watchtower's case, they don't want to bring reproach on Jehovah. So they are not going to look at the case going on in Illinois right now. These elders knew about a CSA case for 8 years and did not report it. And now they're claiming they got bad legal advice from Watchtower. Oh my God. This is what is so triggering about these type of articles, because they're trying to indoctrinate people and it isn't working anymore, because
right.
we can see right through this and say you guys are the ones that are full of misinformation. And I'm going to get into the conspiracy theories because they actually have a subheading about conspiracy theories.
Well, look at the last sentence, okay, or the last two sentences. At times, friends may inadvertently pass on misinformation through email messages and social media posts. Therefore, do not trust a news item unless you can check the original sources. Do not trust the news item unless you can check the sources. Watchtower. This is just that simple in this day and age. If you're interested in what the full quote from the Imperial Bible Dictionary truly is, go to openlibrary.com and you'll find it.
Well, I'll put the link below because that's actually not the right one.
Oh, pardon me.
All right, so at the bottom of that subheading it says fact-checking now is probably becoming as important as hand-washing. Sardar Marpuri, a senior food safety and nutrition officer for the UN. Fact-checking now? Jehovah's Witnesses can't go online and do fact-checking. Watchtower doesn't want them doing any fact-checking on this crap they've printed. This is what is so infuriating and what gets me so triggered about this. Oh, ask yourself, does this news report blur the line between fact and opinion or present only one side of the story? Well, that's what Jehovah's Witnesses are getting,
Yeah.
only one side of the story. Watchtower's side of the story. They only want you to look at what they want you to. Only go to jw.org. You don't need any other source. Do you guys see what Watchtower is doing? They're trying to gaslight all of us. Be guided by facts, not personal preferences. What the Bible says, whoever trusts in his own heart is stupid. All you have to do is go back and look at several of the JW comments under a lot of the XJW videos. Hundreds of ours.
Well,
And these Jehovah's Witnesses trying to say we're the liars. We're lying about the, abuse problem. We're lying about this. We're lying about that. But no, it shows how ignorant they are because they won't go check the facts.
look at that scripture, Proverbs 28:26. Whoever trusts in his own heart is stupid. Do you trust a faithful and discreet slave? Jesus does. It's, oh my God, this stuff is so simple for us right now, especially as it relates to Watchtower.
Stop the spread of misinformation. What the Bible says, Exodus 23:1. You must not spread a report that is not true. Oh my God, here we go. Watchtower talking about themselves again. They're hypocrites. Remember that the information you share with others has the power to affect their thoughts and actions. Even if you unintentionally pass on wrong information, the consequences can be harmful. Do you guys understand what they're saying? Well, we can turn it around and, look at what's happening in Russia. These poor Jehovah's Witnesses believe what the governing body is telling them. And they're sticking with the religion and defying the Russian government and still worshiping, meeting together and, preaching and all of this. Look at the horrific blood policy. Because they're believing Watchtower's misinformation.
That's right.
Wrong information. People, Jehovah's Witnesses are dying. They're right. The consequences can be harmful. Their CSA problem. Kids, hundreds, thousands of kids are being harmed. Families are being destroyed by their shunning policy. They're being harmed. Yeah, the consequences are very harmful.
Well, go back up to the number one rule is to slow down. Pause and ask yourself, am I sure enough about sure enough about this that I should share it? Look at what XJW Elder's wife, Jane Doe, just did to this very day. She took two scriptures from the Bible that absolutely and literally contradict themselves. Slow down, process, and listen to what is being read out from the control mechanism.
Now I'm going to put the link down below to this article too, if you guys want to read the whole thing yourself. Now we get to a box. The truth about conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories are playing a bigger role in people's thinking and behavior possibly than ever, says Shauna Bowes, a research psychologist. Here's what you need to know about conspiracy theories. What is a conspiracy theory? A conspiracy theory is a claim that sinister and powerful groups have secretly plotted to cause a significant or tragic event. Watchtower has plotted their doctrines to try to keep the JWs under control. And there's a reason they do all of this. Their shunning policy. That's not from God. It's a control mechanism. Because they don't want JWs talking to their ex-family members because it would wake them up. Because we have facts. We have letters from the United Nations admitting Watchtower was a member and still is in Europe. We have these facts. We have these court documents of what they're saying in court.
And a congressional fact is that there was no Russian collusion. That was a conspiracy theory.
Back to the article. Why are they dangerous? Conspiracy theories can undermine trust in legitimate sources of information, and some can cause people to reject health or safety advice. Such theories can promote prejudice and violence against the group thought to be involved in the conspiracy. Yeah.
This is so simple. I mean, it literally is this easy.
Well, look at all of them that have come after us.
Of course.
Because we don't believe like them. It goes back to 3-4 years ago, starting with the Bible bullies. You know, and we've dealt with this for 8 years of people, oh, well, I don't agree with you, so I'm going to attack you on social media.
Right. You know, instead of slowing down and evaluating what's being said, let's just jump on the keyboard and become a warrior.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to, January when that Australia activist came after me.
Yeah.
She did not take the time to look at the video I had posted about censorship going on here in the United States. It wasn't even 30 seconds. And boom, here comes her bashing of me and telling me what news media I need to watch that we can trust. Well, I watched some of that news media and they left out a whole bunch of stuff of what was really going on. So, they say, can cause some people to reject health or safety advice. And this goes along with what's going on here in the United States. All of these organizations in control, trying to control all of us, they think we're too stupid to figure things out for ourselves. We're too stupid to make our own health decisions. We're too stupid to decide, whether we want to go in a large crowd or wear a mask or whatever. We're too stupid to figure these things out.
Well, there again, and look at what length they have to go to. And when you look at the length, you've got to slow down and ask, because even our Governor Wingnut, just this morning in the news, she just came back from a meeting with Joe Biden, and she got like $1.5 billion to use in this state. And this morning on the news, she says, you know what? We might even give you a free hunting and fishing license if you get vaccinated. Really? Do you not hear what I hear? You have to bribe people to take this vaccine? What ultimately is the goal? Well, if you've been a Jehovah's Witness for any length of time and you study cults, this is exactly what cults do. Instead of maybe bribing, they'll use a fear thing like, well, you know, if you don't go out in service, Kimmy, Jehovah's going to ask, you know, the people's blood back at your hand. Hey, if you take the vaccine, we'll give you a free fishing license, free hunting. Maybe we'll even give you a free pass to get into the baseball game. Otherwise, you're going to be segregated. Oh, wait a minute. That fits right along with the critical race theory, only it's coming from the mouths of other people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, this is what is so disturbing.
It is.
And, you know, Watchtower is playing right into this. You know, they're playing right into this and pushing, oh, you know, check your facts. And it's so stupid because they're still shut down, even though churches have been opened up in this country. And now they're pushing, you know, oh, get vaccinated and maybe we can go back to preaching and all of this. See, and that's the problem in the society that we're living in right now. Oh, well, if you do this, you'll get your freedoms back. You know, just like Watchtower, if you come back, you will get to be with your family. Basically, you get your freedom back. You get your salvation back. You get everything back. See? It's the same thing. Same thing they did to him when he was a ministerial servant and regular pioneer. Dangle that carrot in front of him. Oh, they weren't happy that him and our daughter were both regular pioneers. Oh, well, if we can get your wife's time up, service time up, you know, maybe we can appoint you as an elder. Oh, if you do this, we can appoint you as an elder. See, it's the same thing. They dangle that carrot in front of you. And we had enough of this for the 40 plus years we were in Watchtower. This is why we see it now in society.
Yeah, it's like a walk in a park for us right now. It literally is.
Yeah, our daughter in college was a sociology major. I mean, she aced it because she could see this too. She's like, oh my God, the whole social structure is a cult. Culture. That's, you know, the base word of cult. Culture. Our culture. This is what it is right now. And that's why many of us can see it so easy to know. Just like we can see Watchtower's hypocrisy in trying to gaslight everybody.
The world.
Yeah. It's like, really?
I just want to give a couple of shout outs. Vinnie Vincent, thanks for the shout out. Yes, we had a wonderful conversation talking about professional wrestling. We get a lot in common. But, you know, the way you analyze things, the way you look at things, they're just spot on. And also Marcus Vaughn, real recently, he's been putting up a lot of videos. Again, spot on. There is a awakening going on in this world. And a lot of us get it. If you guys do go back and watch that video from Awaken with JP, look at what the people are worshiping today. They're worshiping fear. We have broken through that fear. Many XJWs that I've been watching lately have long broken through that fear. But the problem is once you reach this achievement of awareness, the controllers recognize who you are, and then you inevitably will become their target.
Yeah. And it happens, unfortunately, in the XJW community.
Yes,
you know,
it does.
I was just mentioning, you know, what happened a few months ago. Same thing. You know, they realize they cannot control you.
Right.
They cannot control the narrative. They cannot control the content of your YouTube videos. And then you realize, you know, that a lot of these people are manipulators.
Yeah. Well, you know, speaking of which, you know, several months ago, many YouTubers that I watch outside of the XJW community were very careful in how they worded things and phrased things, because a lot of these YouTubers do depend on the advertisements placed on their channels.
Because of censorship.
Because of censorship. But what I've noticed, channels like Mark Dice, I mean, he's a very controversial person in certain realms. I don't agree with everything he says, but I just look at the entire content. But even as of late, some of the most controversial videos that he's done real recently, they're still allowing advertisements to play. There's a few gun channels that I like watching, and I've noticed that the advertisers are now going back and running ads on those channels. And the only thing that I can figure is that when you look at the number of people that will watch a Mark Dice video in a short amount of time ends
Or
up
JP.
being, or JP ends up being in the hundreds of thousands. And I think that these people in the advertisement world are recognizing ultimately they're losing money. They're losing money. So even if they place ads on a controversial channel, they have a greater chance of getting more people to view their product as opposed to not running the ads and nobody sees them. You know, and that's like on this channel, you know, Kim and I, we toiled for a very long time whether we should allow ads to run on this channel or not, because we also are victims of that censorship. But we don't care because we're not in it for money. We want to get the truth out there. The truth about Watchtower's manipulating, lying mechanism.
Misinformation.
Misinformation. Okay? So we don't care whether our channel gets monetized or not. But it's interesting to note that even on some of the more recent videos that Kim has done talking about the CSA problem, the ads have run.
Yeah. Oh, and we even got a notice from YouTube that they were changing their analytics a little bit. And, you know, and I think the reason is because they realized what was happening.
Yeah.
That they were guilty of censorship.
Exactly.
And you know,
So,
it is what it is.
So maybe it is changing a little bit. Maybe it ain't changing quick enough for a lot of us, but maybe it is changing because ultimately we live in a commercialized world. And the Bible itself is a commercial product. It's the product of the business that calls itself religion.
So if there was one wish I could have, I would wish that Jehovah's Witnesses would read this article and say, you know what, maybe I should fact check what Watchtower is saying. Maybe I should Google Jehovah's Witnesses. Maybe I should go on YouTube and watch some of these videos about Jehovah's Witnesses. Maybe I should go check on some of these court cases that the media is mentioning. That would be one wish. And for them to fact check and do their own research. And that's what we have been saying, you know, since this channel's very beginning. You know, don't listen to us. Go fact check it.
Do your research.
Do your research. You know, you go check it out to make sure, like they said, to check the information and sources. Yeah. Go fact check Watchtower. Go in their history and fact check it. And like I said, I'm working on a video right now. I've tried to record it a couple of times already, and there's just so much information, you know, covered in this one little questions from readers article that it's like, what do you know, do a video on? What do you use, and what do you just say, oh, well, that's not really, you know, important?
You know,
because there's so much.
And something else that you might want to ask yourselves, if reading this stuff out of the Watchtower magazine and recognizing what they're doing does not make your blood boil, then maybe you should move along and get involved with something else that does make your blood boil, because that's where you're going to be more productive in helping other people wake up.
Yeah, and it's just sad that Jehovah's Witnesses will not go, I should say the fully indoctrinated Jehovah's Witnesses will not go fact check their history. They won't even look at these old articles. I think this one is from 1953 or 56, something like that. They won't even go look at those because, oh, that's old light. That's apostate now. But it was the truth back then.
Well, instead of calling it old light, Jehovah's Witnesses, why don't you qualify it as gaslight? Then you might recognize what's going on. Because that's a
Good
term
idea.
as Jehovah's Witnesses. New light, new light, new light. We all understand what new light is, but we never even heard the term gaslight come off of the platform or even in a Watchtower article, because once you recognize what gaslighting is, it's too easy to see what Watchtower is doing to you.
Yes. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And, if you can subscribe, click the little red button. And if you want to get notified of any new videos we have done, click the little bell beside it.
Well, if you're going to push this channel in the way you're doing, would you mind if I say something else?
Go ahead, promote your channel. I know
No,
that's
no,
what
no,
you
no,
wanted
no,
to
no,
do.
no, no. I'm not going to do that yet. I'm not quite ready. Look, friends, a lot of you have asked Kim and I what you can do to help us. We don't want to have Patreons. We don't want to have people, contribute to us all the time. We don't want that, because we want you to hold on to your money, because it's a valuable resource, especially now, since gasoline and food and everything else is going up. If you're really interested, really sincerely interested in helping this channel, then I'm asking you to let the commercials play all the way through. Make the commercial world pay for the content you're watching. And if you don't like the commercials, then do what I do. Mute it until they're done. Don't be so quick to skip the ad. If you really want to help this channel, let those commercials play, and do that for all of the other channels that you like. Let them pay for the content that you're watching and keep your money in your pocketbook.
Yeah, and I just want to say that, don't come after me because you don't like a commercial that is playing on it. I have no control over what commercials are put. Same thing with everybody else on YouTube. We have no control over what commercials. If you don't like a commercial because it doesn't hold to your views, mute it. Mute it. Or skip it, whatever. I have no control. Don't come after me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there again, that is the best way anybody could support this particular channel, is just let the commercials play. And there again, we don't like watching YouTube videos that interrupt their content with a commercial. So we don't do that because we don't like it, and we suspect a whole lot of you don't like it either.
But I have noticed that YouTube, I was looking for one of our older videos about something we had done years ago, and when I was watching it, and there was videos all through the thing, or commercials all through the video. And it's like, what the heck? I don't click on that. Well, then when you go into the actual dashboard, guess what? YouTube has automatically put ads in our older videos through the whole thing. It's like, oh, good
Yeah,
Lord.
well, because we didn't specifically isolate those videos, it gives them
Yeah.
the option of doing it on their own. So that's
Yeah.
not anything that Kim and I did.
Yeah. But, if I do go to one of our videos and it does have that, then I will change it to where it's only at the beginning.
At the
and then-
beginning.
yeah. But thank you, everybody, for watching. And our kids are coming this weekend.
Yes, happy birthday.
Yeah.
And happy belated Mother's Day.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for your cards and birthday wishes and Mother's Day wishes. And we hope you have a wonderful day. What?
One other thing. The nail in the coffin.
Yes.
Yes, we haven't done one since the end of last year.
We did one the last day of 2020, but he finally got the coffin lid made, and we've got the new one.
It's on the shelf.
As you can see it down here, we've got the new one finally made, ready to go. Took you long enough.
Well,
So if you want to be on Watchtower's coffin lid, what this is it's for those who have left and are not going back. Email me at kimmymbrooks@gmail.com if you want to be on the coffin lid. If you just let me know if you left prior to 2014, so that we will put you on the old timers part of it. And then if you, or before 2014, and if you left after 2014, we'll put you around the edge in the main part of the thing. And if you only studied and were never baptized, we've got a little heart in the middle for that. So, just let us know, and we are working on that to get one of those done. Just like Armageddon, soon.
Well, it's like what John Lennon said, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, when you've got so much going on.
Yep.
So, thank you everybody for watching, and we love you, and you have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.